Schmidt always hoped that it was funerary and that there would be burials underneath the walls or underneath some of the pillars or so on, but so far they have not yet found.
Hidden deep within the dense, untouched jungles of our world, there exists a mystery that has eluded humanity for ages. In a time when ancient riddles and forgotten civilizations still captivate us, scientists have uncovered an enormous stone structure so advanced that ancient humans could never have built it.
This is the story of pre-Māori civilization and the Kaimanawa Wall.
From tall temples covered in intricate carvings to secret rooms filled with unknown treasures, every discovery gives us a clear idea of a civilization unlike anything we've ever seen. Join us as we unravel the breathtaking discovery of a monstrous structure in the jungle that ancient humans could never build. The Kaimanawa Wall. The Kaimanawa Wall, hidden deep within the dense CWA forest on New Zealand's North Island, has fascinated many for years, sparking heated debates and inspiring various theories about its origins. Some believe it's a natural geological formation.
The wall itself consists of a type of rock which is formed when pyroclastic pumice solidifies after a volcanic eruption.
While others argue that it's a man-made structure, possibly created by an ancient civilization. Its discovery has only deepened the mystery, raising more questions than providing answers, and leaving experts and enthusiasts alike speculating about its true purpose and the people who might have built it, if indeed it was built by humans. This mysterious wall was first brought to public attention in the early 1990s by historian and author Barry Brailsford. While exploring local Maori legends about ancient stone structures hidden in the forest, Brailsford and a small team of adventurers stumbled upon the wall. However, it's likely that local hunters and bushmen, familiar with the area for years, had already known about its existence. The wall itself stands around 10 meters tall, made up of large, smooth stone blocks, arranged with incredible precision.
Right the way down, and they also appear, when you look into the cracks, they appear to be stacked.
These massive blocks fit together so seamlessly that they remind experts of famous ancient structures, like the stonework of the Incas in Peru or the Cyclopean walls in Greece. Curiously, the stones even form a sort of semicircle, suggesting it may have been part of a larger structure. What makes the Kaimanawa Wall so intriguing is the lack of clarity about its origin. Unlike other megalithic sites across the world, which are often linked to known ancient civilizations, this wall exists in a place where there's no record of large stone constructions. The indigenous Maori, who have lived in New Zealand for over 1,000 years, didn't build anything resembling this structure, which has led some to propose wild theories. Some believe it was made by a forgotten pre-Maori civilization, while others think it could be a natural rock formation that just happens to look like a man-made wall. When Barry Brailsford first brought the wall to the attention of the public, many scholars were skeptical. Geologists and archaeologists suggested that the wall was just a natural result of volcanic activity, with the stones shaped by erosion and faulting. But this explanation didn't satisfy those who were amazed by the wall's precision, size, and layout. And soon, amateur archaeologists and alternative historians began to offer more exciting theories. One of the most captivating aspects of the Kaimanawa Wall is the size and precision of the stone blocks. Some are up to 2 meters long, 1 meter high, and 1 meter deep, with some stones weighing several tons. These blocks are similar in size to those used in the construction of famous monuments like Stonehenge or the Great Pyramid of Giza. This has led many to question how these stones were moved and placed so perfectly, especially in such a remote and dense forest without modern tools or technologies. Further exploration of the area has revealed more stone formations, which might suggest that the wall is part of a larger structure buried beneath the forest floor. Terraces, steps, and other formations have been found, challenging the idea that the wall is purely a natural formation.
And why is it not signposted? Because it's a tourist attraction, but not many people know about this.
Another fascinating detail is that the wall is aligned with the cardinal points, with its longest side facing north, which some researchers believe could indicate that it was deliberately designed for astronomical or ceremonial purposes. The blocks themselves, each weighing between 3 to 5 tons, are large compared to many other ancient structures. Interestingly, there's no evidence of a quarry nearby, adding to the mystery of how these massive stones were sourced and transported. This has led to more theories, including the possibility that the wall was built by an advanced pre-Maori civilization. Some believe the wall might have been a fortress, a temple, or a ceremonial site for a long-lost culture. Mainstream geologists, however, argue that the wall is simply the result of a natural process called columnar jointing, where cooling lava forms rectangular or hexagonal columns. Dating the wall has also proven challenging. With no organic material to carbon date, researchers have relied on geological dating methods. Some suggest the wall could be thousands of years old, even predating the arrival of the Maori people around 1,000 years ago, which would support the theory of a pre-Maori civilization. One of the most intriguing theories is that the wall was part of an ancient astronomical observatory, similar to Stonehenge, where people could track the solstices and equinoxes. Others believe it might have been part of a defensive structure, like a fortress, or even a roadway used to transport goods and people through the dense forest. The wall's straight design and alignment suggest it could have been part of a larger network of pathways. What's even more mysterious is that no other structures like the Kaimanawa Wall have been found in New Zealand or the Polynesian region. This has led some to believe that there might have been a cultural or technological connection between New Zealand and distant civilizations, possibly even as far away as South America or Southeast Asia. Some have even suggested that the wall could be linked to the ancient legends of lost continents like Mu or Lemuria, remnants of an advanced civilization that was wiped out by a cataclysmic event. Interestingly, some researchers have compared the Kaimanawa Wall to Japan's Yonaguni Monument, a megalithic structure submerged off the coast of Japan. Like the Kaimanawa Wall, the Yonaguni structure is made up of large, precisely cut stone blocks, leading some to believe that both sites might share a common cultural or technological origin. In the surrounding area, researchers have also found strange petroglyphs and carvings that don't seem to belong to Maori culture. These carvings depict unusual humanoid figures and symbols, adding to the speculation that the Kaimanawa Wall and other nearby discoveries could be the work of an ancient pre-Maori civilization with advanced knowledge of stone construction. The mystery of the Kaimanawa Wall continues to captivate those who seek answers to New Zealand's ancient past. Göbekli Tepe. Göbekli Tepe is an incredibly ancient archaeological site located in southeastern Anatolia, Turkey. This site dates back as far as 9,500 BCE, during a time when pottery wasn't even invented. It is famous for its large, circular structures that feature massive stone pillars.
Underneath the walls or underneath some of the pillars or so on, but so far they have not yet found.
Some of the oldest ever discovered. These pillars have carvings that show human figures, clothing, and sculptures of wild animals, giving archaeologists important clues about the religious beliefs and artistic practices of ancient people. The site spans 8 hectares and includes a 15-meter tall hill, ancient houses, stone quarries, and wells from the Neolithic period. There's also evidence that the site was used by later groups. Originally, Klaus Schmidt, the archaeologist who first started digging at Göbekli Tepe in 1995, believed it was mainly a sacred place where nomadic hunters and gatherers from across a large area gathered. However, recent discoveries, such as houses and water systems, suggest that people lived there for extended periods. Göbekli Tepe is tied to the very beginning of the Neolithic era in Southwest Asia, when humans began living in permanent settlements. This shift marks a critical moment in history, leading to the birth of farming, though it's still debated whether farming led to settlements or vice versa. Göbekli Tepe's role in this debate is unique because, despite being a large, complex site, there's no clear evidence of farming there. Yet, there are clues that grains were processed, leaving archaeologists to wonder whether they were wild or cultivated. The large stone enclosures at Göbekli Tepe have puzzled researchers for years. At first, these structures were thought to be the world's first temples, intentionally filled with debris for ritual reasons. However, newer studies suggest that natural landslides caused the filling, which was later modified. Other similar sites from the same period, like Karahan Tepe in Şanlıurfa province, share architectural and symbolic similarities, but Göbekli Tepe stands out for its sheer size and intricate carvings. Discovered during a 1963 survey, the site didn't gain much attention until Schmidt started his excavation work in 1995. Since Schmidt's passing in 2014, the excavation has been continued by Istanbul University, Şanlıurfa Museum, and the German Archaeological Institute, led by Necmi Karul. Today, only a small part of Göbekli Tepe has been excavated, meaning many of its secrets are still hidden beneath the ground. The site is built on top of a man-made mound on a flat limestone plateau, offering stunning views of the surrounding landscape, including the Harran Plain and the Balik River, which flows into the Euphrates. The climate was warmer and more humid during Göbekli Tepe's occupation, and the region was filled with grasslands and wild grains, along with herds of animals like sheep, goats, and gazelles. Pistachio and almond trees dotted the sparse woodlands nearby. Like other early Neolithic sites in the region, Göbekli Tepe was placed in a strategic location, providing easy access to resources such as limestone for building and flint for tools.
But then in the center of each enclosure you have two particularly big T-shaped pillars of limestone.
The settlement was also smartly designed to capture rainwater using carved channels that led to large underground tanks capable of holding up to 150 cubic meters of water. Natural springs, which are now dry, likely provided additional water due to the higher water table at the time. Excavations have primarily focused on the southern slope of the mound, where many tools and artifacts have been uncovered, along with a small cave featuring a carving of a bovid, the only artwork found in that cave so far. Göbekli Tepe was occupied during a period known as the Pre-Pottery Neolithic, between 9,600 and 7,000 BCE. This era marked the end of the Ice Age and the rise of settled village life. The Pre-Pottery Neolithic is divided into two phases: Pre-Pottery Neolithic A, 9,600 and 8,800 BCE, and Pre-Pottery Neolithic B, 8,800 and 7,000 BCE. Göbekli Tepe's earliest phases belong to the first phase, with further development during the second. The people who lived at Göbekli Tepe were primarily hunters and gatherers, but there is evidence that they also added early types of cultivated grains to their diet. The many grinding stones and mortars found at the site suggest that grain processing was an important activity. Archaeological evidence also indicates that gazelles were hunted extensively, especially during the summer and autumn months. During this period, ancient villages were made up of groups of houses built from stone or mud bricks. Some sites even had impressive buildings like towers, as seen in Jericho, and large circular structures like those at Göbekli Tepe and other nearby sites. These buildings were likely used for communal activities, helping people interact and collaborate as their communities grew. One striking feature of Göbekli Tepe and other sites in the Urfa region is the presence of T-shaped pillars. These pillars have also been found at other pre-pottery Neolithic sites like Navali Chori, Hamzan Tepe, and Karahan Tepe. Similar stone stelae, though not T-shaped, have been uncovered at sites such as Sayunu, showing how these cultural elements spread across different areas. Radiocarbon dating places the oldest visible structures at Göbekli Tepe between 9,500 and 9,000 BCE during the early farming period. The site grew considerably in the early 9th millennium BCE and was used until around 8,000 BCE. After the Neolithic period, smaller groups continued to use the ruins. Klaus Schmidt initially believed the site dated to the early farming period.
With us to excavate here these monumental installations which are typical for Göbekli.
Based on the stone tools found there, but radiocarbon dating later showed that the site was even older. Eventually, new methods of dating organic materials found in the plaster gave more accurate results, placing the site's use firmly in the 10th millennium BCE. Schmidt proposed a model with 3 layers of architecture, but this model has since evolved into 8 distinct phases, covering a span of around 1,500 years. These phases show the development of Göbekli Tepe's large, circular enclosures, changes to the structures, and periods of abandonment. The earliest round buildings at Göbekli Tepe, built around the late 10th millennium BCE, were 10 to 30 meters wide and featured T-shaped pillars, some as tall as 7 meters and weighing up to 50 tons. The pillars at Göbekli Tepe are decorated with detailed carvings of animals such as lions, bulls, and birds, which likely serve religious or symbolic purposes. Human figures are rare in the carvings, but some pillars feature carved human arms and loincloths, suggesting that they might represent deities or ancestors.
And you know, you stand halfway up the vulture stone. It's immense.
The site's importance began to decline around the start of the 8th millennium BCE as farming and animal husbandry took hold, changing the way humans lived in the region. Göbekli Tepe's plateau, shaped by centuries of erosion and quarrying, continues to reveal important insights into early human societies and architecture. Designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2018, this ancient site remains a key puzzle piece in our understanding of the Neolithic era and the development of large-scale human settlements. The Bada Valley. In the heart of central Sulawesi, Indonesia, lies the beautiful Bada Valley, also known as Napu Valley. This stunning area is part of Lor Lindu National Park and is famous for its incredible ancient stone structures called large stones, locally referred to as watu, which means stone in the Badaik languages, and aka, meaning statue in Indonesian. These large stones.
This is a very famous statue here in the absolute middle of nowhere. You might have seen this before.
Number in the hundreds. Their exact age is still a mystery, and researchers have not yet figured out who built them or why. These fascinating statues are believed to have existed since at least the 14th century. Discovered over a century ago in 1908, the large stones of Bada Valley continue to attract historians and archaeologists alike, who have struggled to trace their origins and age. Some estimates suggest these stones could be as old as 5,000 years.
Some have speculated that the stones were carved around 5,000 years ago,
while others argue they might be closer to 1,000 years. Some experts think the large stones in Bada Valley may be connected to an ancient civilization that created similar structures in Laos, Cambodia, and parts of Indonesia around 2,000 years ago. According to ancient origins, the makers of the megalithic statues in Bada Valley remain unknown, while some theories propose that they were made by a culture known for building similar structures across Southeast Asia. The megaliths in Bada Valley are special and stand out in their own right. C. Kruit, a historian and founder of Poso, noted that before the Dutch arrived in the area in 1908, local inhabitants built stone tombs. Even today, some communities still create kalamba, large stone jars used in burial rituals. These kalamba come from various periods, with some being made only a few hundred years ago, referred to as young megaliths. Bada Valley is surrounded by gently rolling hills that create a lovely landscape where clouds often cling to the mountaintops. This unique geography leads to interesting weather patterns, where one part of the valley might be soaked in rain while another is lit up by sunlight, creating a beautiful play of light and shadow. At the center of Bada Valley flows the Lariang River, which merges with the Malay River, making its current stronger. This joining of rivers makes the Lariang River a perfect spot for exciting river rafting adventures. As the river winds through the valley, its flow becomes calmer in the middle, where the land flattens out. Despite extensive research, the purpose of these ancient large stones remains unclear. Local traditions suggest they were used to honor ancestors, yet the exact reasons for their creation are still debated. Local stories add an interesting layer to the stone's history. One story tells of Tokalea, a huge stone that was cursed to its current form as punishment for committing a serious crime. Another tale revolves around a stone named Tadulako, who was said to have once protected the village, but was turned to stone after stealing rice. Some legends connect these large stones to rituals involving human sacrifices, while others believe they were placed to scare away evil spirits, with some locals claiming they have magical properties that allow them to disappear or move at will. In the far reaches of Bada Valley, statues such as Palindo, Torompana, Tarai Ro, and Loga.
And this is Palindo. This is a very famous statue here in the absolute middle of nowhere.
Have names rooted in local stories, each with its unique tale. For instance, Palindo is said to have stood proudly in the past. In this region, the Law tribe maintains its ancient traditions. Among lush green rice fields, these statues stand guard beside traditional Law homes, which are made of bamboo and topped with roofs woven from sugar palm fibers. These simple structures provide cozy lodging for visitors to the park, offering a glimpse into the rich cultural heritage of the area. In Sepe village, the elders believe that the Palindo statue, known as the Entertainer in their language, symbolizes their ancestors, particularly those from the Tosaloj tribe. Legend has it that during the reign of the king of Luwuk, he commanded the creation of 1,800 statues from Sepe to Palopo to show his power over Bada. Originally intended to face south, a mistake led the Bada people to place them facing west instead. When the king insisted on turning them around, the statues tragically fell onto his soldiers, resulting in the deaths of around 200 troops. In ancient times, the Bada people would offer gifts to these statues before taking on significant tasks, like clearing new farmland. The ancient statues found in Bada Valley are unique representations of human figures, crafted with distinctive features. They merge eyebrows and noses into one continuous shape and lack mouths entirely. These statues clearly show differences between male and female forms. For instance, the Palindo and Maturu statues display male characteristics, while the Langke Bulawa statue shows female traits, often featuring a fringe that covers the forehead. The carvings have a straightforward style, with figures typically depicted with large heads, straight bodies, and often no legs. Their faces are marked by round eyes and simple lines for eyebrows, cheeks, and chins. While most statues stand alone, some are grouped throughout the valley, each one decorated with carvings of people, animals, kalamba, and various other images. Among the many ancient sculptures, some show adult humans standing about 1.5 meters tall and approximately 50 centimeters wide. One remarkable statue, known as the Oba statue, stands 70 centimeters tall and has a playful expression, leaving its gender unclear. Locals sometimes liken it to a monkey, while others believe it could represent a child. Additionally, kalamba objects look like large jars with lids and measure between 1.5 and 2 meters wide. These items are thought to have the same cultural origins as the human statues, as small calamba and stone tools resembling mortars have been discovered near the human sculptures. The mystery of Bada Valley's ancient stones continues to fascinate scholars and locals alike as they reveal a rich history and folklore waiting to be explored further. Tiwanaku. Tiwanaku is an ancient site near Lake Titicaca in western Bolivia, known as the heart of the Tiwanaku Empire, a highly advanced civilization that flourished between 300 AD and 1000 AD. This civilization was remarkable for its innovative architecture, engineering, and agriculture. The Tiwanaku people not only mastered the art of building impressive structures, but also created advanced farming techniques, allowing them to thrive in the harsh Andean environment. They established a vast network of trade routes across South America, making their influence widespread long before European explorers arrived. Tiwanaku holds a special place in history, long predating Christopher Columbus, and continues to intrigue historians and archaeologists to this day. Early accounts of the site were penned by European explorers, particularly the Spanish conquistadors. One of the first to document the wonders of Tiwanaku was the historian Pedro Chiesa de Leon in the 16th century. His writings described the awe-inspiring ruins he encountered, sparking curiosity about how such a grand civilization could have existed. The sheer mystery of how the structures were built captivated scholars for centuries. By the late 19th century, serious studies of Tiwanaku began. In 1877, American archaeologist Ephraim George Squire visited the site and made careful notes, sketches, and observations, revealing the complexity of its architecture. Around the same time, French explorer Charles Wiener also documented the site, adding to the growing body of knowledge. These early explorations set the stage for further archaeological investigations, ensuring that Tiwanaku remains a focal point for ongoing research and discoveries. One of the most remarkable structures at Tiwanaku is the Akapana Pyramid. This enormous, stepped pyramid rises to a height of about 16.5 meters, with a base measuring around 200 meters by 250 meters. The pyramid's design is thought to mimic a sacred mountain, reflecting the spiritual importance that natural landmarks held for the Tiwanaku people. Incredibly, the pyramid has a sophisticated drainage system made up of stone-lined channels and underground pipes that divert rainwater away from the structure, preventing erosion. This is a prime example of Tiwanaku's advanced engineering skills. The pyramid itself is built with massive stone blocks and compacted earth, with the stones so precisely cut and fitted together that they require no mortar. This speaks to the incredible craftsmanship and precision of the builders. Another fascinating feature of the site is the Kalasasaya complex, a large rectangular enclosure with towering stone walls. Inside it stands the Gateway of the Sun, an enormous archway carved from a single block of andesite. Standing about 3 meters tall and 4 meters wide and weighing around 10 tons, the Gateway of the Sun is covered with intricate carvings depicting deities and symbols connected to the Tiwanaku calendar and cosmology. These carvings reveal the Tiwanaku people's deep knowledge of astronomy, and the entire site is aligned with the summer solstice, demonstrating their understanding of celestial events as far back as 10,500 BC. Equally astonishing is the semi-subterranean temple at Tiwanaku, which has a unique sunken courtyard measuring about 28 by 26 meters. One of the most striking features of this temple is the collection of carved stone heads embedded in the walls. Each head is different, with unique facial features, and experts believe they may represent various ethnic groups or significant individuals, reflecting the diversity within the Tiwanaku civilization. A short distance from Tiwanaku lies Pumapunku, another marvel of the ancient world. First noted by Spanish explorers in the 16th century, Pumapunku didn't receive serious archaeological attention until the 20th century. What sets Pumapunku apart is its extraordinary stonework, featuring large andesite and sandstone blocks cut with such precision that the joints are almost seamless. Some of these blocks are so finely cut that not even a razor blade can fit between them. The methods used to achieve such precision remain a mystery. One theory suggests that the Tiwanaku people used metal tools made of bronze or copper alloys, which could cut the softer sandstone but would have struggled with the harder andesite. Evidence of bronze and copper tools found at other Tiwanaku sites supports this theory. Some of the stone surfaces also bear marks from chisels, hinting at the use of metal tools. Another possibility is that the builders used sand and water to gradually wear down the stone surfaces, creating the smooth, precise finishes we see today. Large grinding stones might have been used to further polish the blocks after they were cut. There's also speculation that the Tiwanaku may have possessed advanced techniques or technologies that have since been lost. While some fringe theories suggest that extraterrestrial beings may have helped build Pumapunku, these ideas are not supported by mainstream archaeology. What is clear is that the stonework at Pumapunku, particularly the H-shaped blocks, demonstrates an incredible level of craftsmanship. These blocks fit together in a modular design, interlocking with exacting precision. Some weigh several tons, with the largest blocks exceeding 100 tons. Moving these massive stones from quarries several kilometers away was no easy task. It is believed that the Tiwanaku people used wooden sleds to transport the stones, with large groups of workers pulling the sleds over log rollers. They likely employed simple machines, like levers and ramps, to lift and position the blocks. Some scholars suggest that Lake Titicaca, which was larger and closer to Pumapunku at the time, may have been used to float the stones on rafts before dragging them over land. The stonework at Pumapunku is often compared to the precision seen in other ancient marvels, like the Egyptian pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for instance, is made of millions of limestone blocks, some weighing up to 80 tons, with similarly precise fitting and alignment with the stars. While the techniques used by these ancient civilizations remain a topic of debate, the enduring mystery of their achievements continues to captivate scholars and the public alike. Now, it's time for today's subscriber pick. Deep in the heart of a mysterious jungle, a team of scientists made an amazing discovery. Hidden beneath layers of thick vines and dirt stood a huge stone structure, unlike anything they had ever seen. The stones were so large and perfectly placed that it seemed impossible for ancient humans to have built them. There were no signs of tools, no marks of chisels or hammers. Even modern machines would struggle to move such massive rocks. As they explored the site, the scientists found odd carvings on the stones, symbols they couldn't understand. The deeper they dug, the more they realized how advanced this place was. It wasn't just a structure, it looked like an ancient city, far beyond the abilities of any known civilization from that time. Some believed it was proof of lost technology, or even help from beings beyond our world. The discovery left the team in wonder, and the world waited eagerly to uncover more of its secrets. Could this ancient city be evidence of lost technology or extraterrestrial influence? Share your opinion with us in the comments section. The Baalbek Temple Complex. In the heart of Lebanon's lush Bear Valley lies a breathtaking wonder that has stood strong through the ages. The Baalbek Temple Complex. This ancient site is home to some of the largest and most puzzling stone blocks ever used in human history.
As each group erected monuments and etched their histories in stone for eternity.
With some weighing an unbelievable 1,650 tons. The real mystery that captivates historians and archaeologists is how these massive stones were moved and placed with such precision. Even today, no one knows for sure how the builders of ancient times achieved such a feat, leaving modern experts and curious minds amazed. Baalbek, located in the fertile Bear Valley, isn't just a place of architectural brilliance. It's a symbol of a rich cultural heritage that stretches back thousands of years. Originally a humble Phoenician town dedicated to the worship of the sun and storm god, Baal, the site played an important role in local religious rituals. Over time, Baalbek transformed, especially after Alexander the Great conquered it in 334 BC. Under his influence, Greek architecture and culture merged with the local traditions, laying the foundation for what Baalbek would eventually become. When the Romans took over, they saw Baalbek's strategic and religious importance and began turning it into a grand ceremonial center in the 1st century BC. At the heart of this transformation was the Temple of Jupiter, one of the largest temples in the Roman Empire. It boasted 54 colossal granite columns, each rising 70 feet into the air. Although only 6 of these magnificent columns still stand today, they dominate the landscape, offering a glimpse of the temple's former grandeur. Nearby, the Temple of Bacchus stands out for its stunning Roman artwork and intricate carvings that depict scenes from myths and celebrations. Not far from there, the Temple of Venus showcases a unique round shape, breaking away from the typical Roman architectural style. The engineering feats at Baalbek, particularly the ability to move and position such large stone blocks, put it on par with other wonders like the Egyptian pyramids and Stonehenge. One of the most incredible features of Baalbek is the King's Chamber, where gigantic blocks form its walls and ceiling. This ancient marvel wasn't just a building, it was a cultural center, drawing people from across the Roman Empire for religious festivals and games that blended both Roman and local traditions. Compared to other Roman sites like the Pantheon in Rome,
ancient Rome round, circular, and Greek architecture, which is square.
Baalbek's sheer size and complexity make it stand out as a true masterpiece of ancient engineering, built far from the Roman heartland. The most striking part of Baalbek is the Trilithon, a group of 3 gigantic stone blocks that form the foundation of the Temple of Jupiter. Each block is about 64 feet long, 13 feet tall, and 14 feet wide, weighing around 800 tons. The precision with which they were fitted together, without any mortar, continues to astonish researchers. Nearby, in a quarry just 900 meters from the temple complex, lies the Stone of the Pregnant Woman, a massive monolith that's about 69 feet long and weighs around 1,000 tons. According to local legend, touching the stone is believed to guarantee a safe childbirth for pregnant women. In 2014, another even larger stone was discovered in the same quarry, buried under layers of sediment. This stone, weighing an astounding amount of tons, is the largest ever carved by human hands, expanding our understanding of the incredible capabilities of ancient engineering. The size and scale of Baalbek were no accident. The massive stones used in the temples reinforced Roman authority and emphasized the sacred nature of the site. It's believed that ancient builders likely moved these enormous stones using simple yet effective methods, such as rolling them on large tree trunks and using sleds to spread their weight. Olive oil might have been used to reduce friction, while wooden cranes, dirt ramps, ropes, pulleys, and levers were employed to lift and position the stones with stunning accuracy. Interestingly, many of these techniques mirror those used in the construction of the Egyptian pyramids, representing the shared knowledge and ingenuity across different ancient civilizations. Which of these ancient megalithic structures discovered by scientists in the jungle did you find the most intriguing? Let us know your answer in the comments section.